Mick Fraser, how the devil are you, mate? All right?
Hello, mate. I'm absolutely fine, thank you. You?
I'm fantastic, and I'm fantastic because we're here to talk about a game. We're here to talk about a survival game that's coming. Well, it has come to Xbox One, and
It has indeed.
I nearly said PlayStation.
No, it isn't.
Scratch
no.
that. PC and Xbox One, which you've reviewed. The Flame in the Flood, which is a great name for a game, but does make me think of that Dragon Force song.
Yes.
You've written a review, and we're here to
indeed.
talk about that, basically. You loved it. I've been playing on PC. I think it's fantastic as well. Mick, why is it good? Why is it so good?
Because it's just, I don't know. It's it's one of those things, because I didn't know anything about it. Like, I think it was a Kickstarter. Possibly. Yeah. I think I was speaking to Dan Murphy the other day, and he said that he thinks it was a Kickstarter.
That's right, yeah. He said he nearly backed it because he's on PlayStation.
Yeah, he was hoping it was coming to PlayStation, so he was a little bit gutted that it wasn't. So yeah, I didn't know anything about it because it's sort of, I think it's been on Steam Early Access, and I'm not a big PC gamer, so I'd sort of missed it. And then I think you sent me an email saying, "Hey, do you want to check this game out?" And then I was like, I don't even know what that is. So
well, it's weird because that's kind of what happened to me. We just literally got a PR blast from the firm representing it, and I looked at it and I thought that actually, it's sometimes even now you'll see a game's art style and you'll look at it and go, I wouldn't mind seeing what that is. And
that's what I was like.
That's exactly. I took a code on for the early access version, which is something I want to talk to you about actually because originally when I first played it, there was no story mode. It was just the early access.
Oh right, okay.
And having played it a lot more since, there is a story mode. It's kind of just endless with a bit of an objective, isn't it?
Yeah, there's a campaign. Well, there's two modes.
Yeah.
I'm assuming the Xbox One version is the same.
Yeah, it's identical. Yeah, it is.
So there's two modes. One, there's campaign and endless mode. So on campaign, there is a sort of a story. I mean, in case people don't know what this is yet, it's
sorry.
It's I don't think it's post-apocalyptic, but there's been a flooding of the American Midwest, and I think it's the American Midwest, and it's turned a great big section of the American wilderness into one giant river, basically. Yep. And you play a young girl guide or girl scout called, I think they just refers to her as Scout, and you've got a little dog companion.
It's interesting you say that actually, because the dog's called Aesop, isn't it?
Yes, he is. Yeah,
but I don't know how I know that.
Because when you open the inventory, it says move item to Aesop's bag.
Yep,
that's the only indication, because there's no spoken dialogue in the game.
Because I remember reading, because you've written a sort of guide for it as well as a review, and I remember seeing you writing Aesop, and I was like, I knew that, and I don't. Yeah, of course it is. Yeah, you're absolutely right. It does say that. Yeah. Sorry, carry on.
No. So you're this little girl. I don't know how old she is, but she's young. She's got a little dog, and you're cast adrift basically on this gigantic river. And your objective is just to stay alive. It's very similar to Clay's Don't Starve in terms of the atmosphere. The atmosphere is not quite as tongue-in-cheek as Don't Starve, but it's got that kind of... The aesthetic is quite reminiscent of Don't Starve, and obviously it's a roguelite survival sim.
It's a bit less busy work in it, I think.
Yes, yeah. You haven't got anything to maintain. You haven't got to build a camp and that sort of thing.
At all.
You've basically just got to stay alive, which is kind of what I really like about it, because once you're on the river, you can't go back. So if you miss something, if you go past an area, or if you haven't got enough room in your inventory to scavenge everything in an area and you move on, it's done. You have to just keep going forward.
I found that created some dilemma sounds like a strong word, but there are bits when you're going down the flood part, and you see on like the icons appear like there's a church and a foresty bit and a campsite, and you kind of want a bit of every part of them, but most of the time you sort of can't, and as you say, you can't go back. You do have to choose.
Yeah, well, it's interesting because Scout needs so much. She needs everything, because you've got to maintain your hunger levels, thirst, body temperature, and tiredness.
Yep.
And not only that, there are predators. I mean, there's packs of wolves and there's vipers in the grass, and the game throws all
There's even
these,
ants.
ants and poison ivy and
God, yeah.
wild boars. The game throws all these things at you, and basically, if you get hurt by anything and you don't treat it, it will kill you eventually.
Yep.
Like a wolf cut might become septic, or
Well, I found as well that you can try to ignore them. And like, so you're like, oh no, I'll try to ignore them, and then eventually I found myself like, oh, I have to do something about this now. But by the time I'd done something about it, I realised I'd actually also been neglecting my food.
That's
and the
it,
last
yeah.
time I played it, in fact, the video that people will be seeing behind this, that's exactly what happened. I tried to ignore it, and then I tried to fix myself from getting. I basically got attacked by a wolf. And by the time I realised I was nearly fixing it, I realised my food was low, and I had no food, and I was done for essentially.
Yeah. I mean, it can be heartbreaking when you're, because similarly to Don't Starve, it kind of scores you in how many days you survived, how
Yep.
far down the river you are.
Yep.
And it can be heartbreaking when you've reached like a personal record, because it's only permadeath if you play in the there's a survival difficulty.
Yeah, endless, or whatever it's called.
And if you play that, then you get permadeath. If you play the campaign, it sets you back to a checkpoint.
What did you think of the checkpoint? Because I found this as a game that you think, in your head, you think, oh, I just can sit down and have a quick play, and then somehow 2 hours pass and you're like, oh shit, I've just been going. Because with the campaign, because you can because there's checkpoints of sorts. But I found most of the time the checkpoints were a little bit harsh, or a little bit too far back for where I'd like them to be.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. That's exactly what I felt. I put it in the review, actually.
That's right, yeah.
It's kind of like, because you in a short space of time in this game, you'll visit like a few different places, and in those places, the loot is, I believe, so far as I can tell, everything's randomised. It's all procedurally generated, so everywhere.
I think apart from that very first starting area where you have to get a jar, I think it's completely randomised.
Yeah. Everywhere has different stuff. So sometimes you'll kind of luck in for quite a while at different areas. You'll find the alcohol you need to make bandages, or you'll find, I don't know, it's fishing lines to make stitching kits, and you can improve your inventory and all that sort of stuff. Your luck's really going your way. And then before you know it, you've probably played for half hour, maybe 40 minutes between checkpoints sometimes, it seems. And then you'll sort of walk into the wrong patch of wilderness, because you have to dock. You'll probably see it in the video, you have to dock.
Yeah, you will.
And you'll walk into the wrong patch of wilderness, and you'll be minding your own business, and then all of a sudden, a pack of wolves or a wild boar, and one unlucky incident can end you, and then you die.
You do. And that's what happened to me. I found I enjoyed the campaign. This is a weird thing to say because they are kind of the same thing, but I've enjoyed the campaign more because I had lucky runs, or whether it is intentional, I found the difficulty scaled a little bit better. Whereas I found the endless mode, I was just running into wolves on every other, and I was like, it's like you need a little bit of a run up before you can get. I mean, even boars, you need a bit of a run up to even being able to kill a boar. Yeah. I found the first time I actually managed to kill and capture rabbits, I was like an hour into playing it, just to get the stuff I needed. But because you need certain things to craft the traps. But at the same time, you need to be managing your life, essentially. So you can't just like grab stuff and go, oh yeah, fine, I'll just build a trap. You have to be aware that I also still need that water. And I ended up with loads of clean water, but not much food. And I don't know. It's a very cool game, and it's a very addictive game, and something we have hardly mentioned: the visuals and the sound. And the visuals you can see, so you can see it looks great. So we won't dwell on that. But something that's really, really, I think, really makes it stand out is the soundtrack.
Oh, it's fantastic. Yeah, really,
it is.
Really good.
You almost want to get back on the raft, because that's when a song will kick in, and I don't know if that's definitely what happens, but it seems to be what happens.
They must have Molasses Flood who put the game together.
Yeah.
They must have set certain triggers.
I think so.
I mean, it's the soundtrack is written and performed by Chuck Reagan, who's like an alternate country singer. So it's very kind of emotive and sort of, well, quite, I'd say heart-wrenching, but it's quite an emotional soundtrack.
It runs the gamut, I think, because I mean, like
Yeah.
the main there's a couple of, because I'll be honest, I was quite surprised to hear like then suddenly like he starts singing, because you don't get that a lot in games. Like, I can think of examples of it, like in Red Dead when you cross the border to Mexico and a song
That's
starts.
what it reminds me of. I
Yep.
keep replaying Compass.
Is that the one we sing? Because I don't know. I
can't remember his name now. But yeah, Compass. That's the song that plays when you're riding back to
yeah.
Marston's family. Yeah, that's it. And
It's
that's what it evokes in my mind.
It really does. I don't know. I just it feels like a quite special game. I don't really know why. I don't know what it is. It's one of those that if you look at it, like, not being funny, but survival games are kind of a dime a dozen these days. But this one genuinely, and it can't just be, it's both of us. We both feel this way. It's not the case of like where you feel it and everyone else is like, what's this game on about? It's got something. It really has got something.
It's got a nice balance, I think. It's got a really nice balance. I mean, I thought Don't Starve sometimes was a little bit, I'm not going to say harsh, because that's what Don't Starve is, but there were a lot of times in Don't Starve where I felt like I sort of died because of bad luck rather than bad planning and things. And I think I reviewed a very similar one a little while ago called Crashlands on PC, which is decent. And I found that a little bit too easy and too forgiving.
Right.
And I find that, Flame in the Flood sort of sits nicely in the middle, because if you're prepared, if you take into account what might happen, and you're clever with your inventory space, and you look after scouts' needs properly, it's a lot more manageable. But there's still times when the game will suddenly throw a viper at you or a pack of wolves.
Absolutely. There's definite issues like that I find sometimes on runs. I just keep finding those places where you can upgrade the raft, and it's like I've been playing for 10 minutes. There's nothing I can do. I haven't even found a thing I can do here, and I'm certainly not going to lose a jar of clean water, swap it out for a jar of gas when I can't even use gas. But look, that's the Flame in the Flood. We both like it an awful lot. You can go and read Mick's review, which will be far more detailed than this.
Read the review.
Definitely do. And also, if you're struggling with it, go and read his tips as well, which is very helpful. Otherwise, you can follow myself at GBSF on Twitter. Mick is at Jedi_beats_tank. You got to change that to something shorter, Mick. You know that, right?
People keep telling me that.
It barely fits on the lower third for the video. It's that's the most important thing. Well, also, very importantly, go to patreon.com/GodIsAGeek. There should be something in this video you can click to see that. $5 a month, which is about £3, gets you exclusive videos every month. It gets you an extended podcast every week, and it gets you early access to videos. Basically, once they're done, we give them to you.
Do get involved with that.
Absolutely. Otherwise, thank you very much for watching and listening. He's been Mick Fraser. I've been Adam Cook. Goodbye for now.
See you later.
I'm not asking a lot. It's just, if I could just win the lottery or something, and I'd just live happier. And the thing is,
Should have backed the God is Geek Patreon.